Hi, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategies are concise business advice. And so we're going to get right to our guest today. And with question number 1, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Hollingsworth. I am a trained certified risk manager. As a risk manager, I do 5 things. 1, I question everything. 2, I do contract reviews for my people and people. 3 is to practice integrity. When giving an opinion, it's not just something off the top of my head, but it's based on the contracts that they have, whether contractor or a business and a lease. Try to give the advice based on that and their insurance contracts and whether or not they match. Number 4, I have a tendency, because I ask questions and their questions are always simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. Sometimes it makes people uncomfortable. And so people don't always like all of the questions sometimes. Number 5 is simply, I'm not here to tell anybody how to run their business. That's what they know how to do. I'm here simply to help them stay in business and be profitable. My number 1 objective.
Well, very complete answer, and I like that because everybody wants to stay in business and be profitable. I mean, that's the goal of any business. So question number 2, what's the best thing about being a business leader?
For me, it's creating relationships and the synergy that happens so that both businesses and both relationships prosper. My objective is to be able to help a business stay in business and to help them be profitable. I tell people, look, when the defecation hits the ventilation and everybody's covered in it, we want to wash you down with some water and have you be able to go back to work as quickly and do your operation as quickly as possible.
That's an interesting analogy. Very good. All right. Question number 3. I hear from other business leaders that their people strategy in their business can often be more complicated, difficult and more challenging, if you will, than their actual business strategy. Your thoughts?
That the balance that you try to have between your business and your business operation and your people is a delicate thing. And you need good people and you need good help there. Ideally, you would have an HR person who you know and trust, who can work with and has a relationship with people so that they can get feedback, both positive and negative. On the opposite side, it's good to have an operations person. And their job is to make sure that stuff gets done. HR people, their job is to make sure that they get things done, they do their job, but that people are comfortable and people know what to do and how to do it. The operations guy or person just wants to get stuff done. The problem is that not every business has the financial wherewithal to be able to do that, to have either one or both of those people. Maybe they've only got 6 or 7 or 10 or 11 people, and most of them are out doing work or they're running things. My suggestion would be that you get an employee that you trust, that you know, and have them be your sounding board. Hey, what can we do to make it better for the employees? And what can we do from their side to make the business side better? If everybody's profitable and everybody's happy, it's a great thing. If one side is dominating the other side, you might make more money, but if you're dominating on your business and not your employees, you may have a high turnover, and that could cost you money. If you're focusing too much on your people and not on your business, you could miss some business opportunities. So a good balance and good people are really the key to those 2 things.
Well, and like you said, turnover can definitely cost a business a lot of money, lack of retention. But the premise of what you're saying, it really is that you really have to spend the time and effort and invest in your people, not only to understand them, but also to work your business strategy around that. So great answer.
It's a 2-sided coin. You can't really operate your business without people. Your people can't live and make money, do all the things that they knew they need without a business. So without a balance, investing in your people and investing in your business both, they'll fall apart.
So question number 4, what strategy would you like to share with other business leaders?
You know, the strategy that I use and that I've shared with many of the people that I work with, they're just simply called the 7 red rules. Oh, some of them people will recognize, but I found that whatever I'm doing, business strategy, personal relationships, if I look at these 7 red rules, I usually get some insight about how to do it better. First one, number 1, never go to a gunfight with a knife. You know, most of us learned that very young. Be prepared. You know, while you think, well, isn't everybody prepared? You'd be amazed how many people go in to make a business presentation and they simply just start talking. They don't have a presentation. They don't have a proposal. They're just going to start talking and see what hits the wall and sticks. Be prepared. Number 2, actions have consequences despite your feelings. Now, what that means is if you act, you make a decision, it's going to have a consequence. We hope we're always making the best decisions. Sometimes we look at a decision and we think, okay, I need to act, and so I'm going to do this. But the consequence is very, very different than what we do. From a personal standpoint, if you just think about communicating with someone that you love and care about, you wanted to share something with them and you brought it up and the conversation didn't go very well. It's no different in business. The actions that we take will have consequences, or lack of actions still have consequences. Number 3, fear cuts deeper than steel. The reason that that is there is simply because it amazes me how often people are not acting or not doing simply because they have some fear, whether it's getting on the phone and dialing and talking to people, whether it is standing up in front of a group and presenting, whether it's getting on a video and putting yourself out there. You've got to move forward. Fear will cause you to not be able to do things. Number 3 is act. Don't be acted upon. If you've got an issue, if you've got a concern, if you're trying to accomplish something, if you never change what you're doing, you're always going to get the same results. You've got to act. Number 5, you are the questions you ask, so you must be the change you seek. That's confusing to a lot of people, but let me give you a quick example. Something bad happened in a business, somebody gets injured, or something goes wrong, or somebody does something that costs the organization money. And the boss goes in and is angry and says, somebody tell me what happened. What's wrong here? How do we fix this? Now, the next boss, same situation, walks in and says, okay, we had a problem. This is what happened. This is the end result. Now, how do we prevent it from happening again? Same question. You are the questions you ask. The one that's asked tyrannically, nobody wants to answer. Everybody's looking to blame somebody else. If the same question is asked the second way, then there can be some empowerment and people can go, okay, well, maybe I can share what really happened or how I really feel so that we don't have that happen again. Number 6, you can't talk your way out of something you've behaved yourself into. If your company has behaved badly, if you've got an employee who said something, did something, treated somebody in an improper way, you can't talk your way out of that. You behaved or had an employee behave the way into it. You need to behave yourself out of it. A good example is one of the pizzas companies said, if we got your pizza order wrong, if it got there late, if it wasn't right, you let us know. And what are they going to do? They're going to deliver you another free pizza. That is behaving their way out of it. That's not just saying, oh, we're sorry, gee, too bad. Number 7 has to do with understanding whether or not you've really got a problem. If time or money, and it is, if time and or money will solve the problem, you don't really have a problem. On a personal side, oh, you may have bills, you may be behind, the bill collectors are calling and you've got all of these issues. That's fine. That's a problem. It's an issue, but you can solve that one with time and money. If you have a spouse or a loved one who is ill, you can't solve that. That's a real problem. We have a lot of people in our society today that have issues, but they're not truly problems.
Well, I wish we had more time to expound on those and to talk about them. Unfortunately, we are out of time. But question number 5, real quick. What other successful business owners or CEOs would you like to maybe acknowledge here or you think would be good on this podcast?
You know, someone that I think that you might want to interview and talk to, her name is Laura Steyerman, and she is with WCF Mutual, and is not only a wonderful person, but has worked her way through that organization and done very, very well.
Well, real quick, before we leave, can you tell people what's the best way to maybe get a hold of you or reach out to you?
Best way to reach me is either by phone number, which is 801-631-5202, or the other is my email, red, R-E-D, @banasky.com.
Well, great.
Just like the color.
It's been great having you on today. And this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. For more insights or to follow us, you can follow us at Weaver Business Coaching on LinkedIn, or you can listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. And we wish you the best success.